Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from High Branch Brewing Company out of Concord, North Carolina. This beer is called Honey Drip. You can see on there it says hazy IPA fermented with local honey. So I guess it's kind of in the style of like Hop Slam. You know, I think there's other breweries that do honey IPAs. I personally don't really know what it adds to the beer because the honey just generally ferments out anyways, and if it didn't, then it would be really sweet. So, but I know that these guys make awesome IPAs in general, so I definitely have faith that this is going to be really good regardless. So, but this is 7.4 ABV, so just under the double IPA range in my opinion. And I had heard from some local people that they thought this is one of the best IPAs that they make. I wasn't here yet last year when they released this, so pretty excited to give it a go. And I think I also remember them saying that this is a different... the hop profile isn't the same this year as last year, so not exactly the same beer apparently. And again, I'm sure you can't see it, you won't be able to see it, but it feels like this was packed with 17 ounces of beer because it's literally sitting on top of the can. That's how full it is. It's like a crowler. Certainly not going to complain about by any means. I can smell it from here. It smells amazing. So yeah, that pours a really, really nice, clean, dark golden color with a somewhat small white head. It's not really staying around for very long. I haven't had one of their IPAs on this channel in a little while, and I'm pretty excited to. I think the last one I had, there was an issue with the can too, so I'm really excited to do this one. So it's definitely very juicy. I would say it's in the like the peach, orangey, mango realm. There's a little bit of earthiness to it, but it's mainly juice. I mean, it's very, very peach and orange driven. Yeah, that is incredibly clean. It's I'd say it's really, really similar to the aroma. This is one of the, I don't want to say one of the few, but a lot of times, you know, the aroma is way better than the taste, or the taste is way better than the aroma, or they're different. This one is actually, I would say, really similar all the way through. It's like pithy and juicy orange, a little bit of pineapple character in it too. Not nearly as much as some of their other beers, so I don't really think there's mosaic in this because that seems to be what drives that. It is a little on the sweeter side for some of their IPAs, but it's not sweet in my opinion. It's just a little sweeter than some of their other stuff. That could be attributed from the honey too, which is fine because it's playing perfectly in this beer. And it has a really, really nice mouthfeel. It's not like quite as pillowy as some of like the best New England style IPAs, but it doesn't really have that bite to it. The bitterness I think is absolutely perfect. It's balancing out the sweetness that's there, but it's not, you know, not burning the tongue at all. Yeah, that is incredibly well rounded. I could drink this stuff like it's water, which is pretty crazy. I think, you know, this, not that 7.4 is really strong, but I think this is kind of This is so well rounded. This reminds me of other breweries beers that are like 6%, and this is 7.4. Not that I care about alcohol that much, but I know it's definitely a skill to hide it. And this definitely does that. There's no alcohol burn at all. The bitterness is like completely held in check. The flavor is really nice and bright. I would say the hop profile is not like absolutely my favorite, and that doesn't mean that I don't like it. I do really like it, but I kind of like the balance of the juice and the like resinous. This is kind of more just on the juicy side, but everything about it in that realm, in my opinion, other than the body could be a little softer, maybe, is almost perfect. So this is definitely another winner from these guys. This is up there with one of my favorite IPAs that they've done. I still think, and it's not considered an IPA, it's a pale ale, but just hoppy beer in general. I still think Pounder is my favorite hoppy beer from them because it's just so unbelievably crushable. But that's obviously kind of in a different realm, and it's meant to be lighter and just like a tailgating beer. So, this isn't meant to be that light, so it's hard to compare them. But as far as just my favorite one to drink at any point in time, that's probably it. But this is definitely up there. This is really, really good stuff. So I don't remember. I think this was $18, which some of their IPAs are only $16 for a 4-pack, but with the honey too, I know, especially if it's locally sourced, I know that's not cheap. So I think that price is, completely within reason, and for how good this is, and it's definitely flooded with hops. It's not there's nothing that's sitting like there's really no. That's the one other thing. Like there's no grain taste at the end of it. It is flush with hops all the way through the taste. So I know there was definitely a crap ton of hops in this. So I think that price is absolutely normal and acceptable for this beer. This is definitely a buy for me. I actually kind of wish I had bought more. They ran. This is at this point. This is like just over a month old. Not that that's old. I mean, these hazy IPAs now they're so little with hops that they're holding up, and a lot of them actually are better with like a month on them because some of them are a little harsh. So I don't mind doing reviews when they're like a month old, but that's kind of just how I'm behind on my IPAs because I just have so many of them to try to do reviews of, and I can't drink IPAs all the time. I got to drink other stuff in between just to switch it up. So that's kind of where I am. But anyways, the reason I was talking about that is because they don't have any more of this left. I really wish they did because it's one of my favorite ones that they've done in a while. I really, really like it. And it's really cool. I mean, I think Charlotte is definitely. I'll just go off tangent a little bit. So when I moved down here, that was one of the things I was thinking, like, that the beer down here wasn't going to be. I mean, I'd heard of Fauna Flora, but other than that, a lot of these breweries I hadn't heard of. And I was worried that not distribution wise, but the breweries themselves, like there wasn't going to be as many quality breweries. And I was quickly proven wrong. But now, with with Resident Culture really hitting their stride and coming out with these wild ales, and they're doing those too, and they're really good. Like today, I went to the Strawberry Hill release, which I'll be doing a review for soon. That was really nice. Brew Gentleman's still my favorite brewery out of any of the breweries, in Pittsburgh or in the Charlotte area. But as a whole, I honestly think, other than me not living as close and being spread out, they're like, because High Branch isn't really close to, the other ones in Charlotte. But other than being spread apart a little bit, like I actually think as a whole, the ones that I like are better than the ones that I like in Pittsburgh. Or there's at least more of them. Or they're, I don't know, maybe not better. I have to really think about it, but I think they're at least equal. So, but what I was getting at with that was this I think they're doing really great IPAs, and I think Resident Culture is doing really great IPAs. But they're significantly different, in my opinion. Like, if I had, I don't know, I might be crazy, but I feel like anytime I have a hoppy beer from these guys and have a hoppy beer from Resident Culture, it might be the body and the carbonation that really drives the difference. That's my assumption. I feel like I could pick out which one was from which brewery, and that's not to say that one's better than the other. I just feel like they're different, which is really cool. But I mean, to me, that's the same as like the NC Gnome and Brew Gentleman. They're both doing really good hoppy stuff, but I could definitely tell which one is which, just because they have the malt profile is different in the body and stuff. Even though they're using the same water, obviously they're treating it differently. So yeah, that's enough of my rant about Charlotte brewery scene right now, which is really hitting in stride and doing some great stuff. I'll absolutely seek this out. Not now because it's not available anymore, but when they do it again, it's definitely worth seeking out. In my opinion, this is one of the best IPAs they've done since I've been down here. Really, really good stuff. So, yeah, that's all I got on this guy. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.